Welcome everybody to the PGA DFS Pick Show. I am your host, John McNutt, aka John Cool 19, here from Fantasy Sports Insight, talking DraftKings daily fantasy golf. This week is the Fortinet Championship. I will be your host through the rest of the swing season. Normally, my co-host is TK Nation. He'll be taking a few weeks off. He has an upcoming wedding, so congratulations to him. We will catch him as soon as he is back ready to go, probably right around the end of swing season when the true PGA season really does pick up and a lot more bigger events, bigger prize pools, and better fields. But that is nothing against the Fortinet Championship. Happy to get back into golf after just a couple weeks off. Jump right into the course. What we're looking at this week, this is the Silverado Resort and Spa, the North Course on the grounds, about 7,100 yard, par 72 with bent POA blend grass greens. This is in Napa, California. We're looking at very narrow fairways this week, but the rough is not very penal. So drive accuracy is important. Drive distance helps a lot, but it's not a must to hit every single fairway like it is on some of the other courses we saw over the last month or so, where if you weren't accurate, it absolutely destroyed you. So certainly we're going to keep that into the modeling, looking really at maybe total driving. That is a combination of drive distance, drive accuracy. I think that's an important stat to look at this week. We expect a lot of birdies. The past winning scores the last couple of years, 21 under, 19 under. So we're looking at a lot of birdies this week. So birdie or better is high in my modeling, as well as par five scoring. Max Homa last year absolutely destroyed the par fives. You have to be able to score as many times as possible throughout the week on those. And then proximity from 100 to 125 yards. There is way more approach shots in that range at this course versus the average PGA Tour course. Again, it's a bit short, and guys are just going to go as long as they can off the tee, even if they miss the fairway here. Just not very penal. The difficult part here, the greens, they're pretty tiered, can be very difficult at times, even though they're not very fast. So we are looking for guys that are really good on approach. Try and get it close, get it on the right plateau, the right tier of these greens. Makes it a lot easier, really saving yourself a putting stroke from there. Last thing to note, there are six par fives that are up. Six par fours that are 400 to 450 yards. I'm including that in my modeling as well. And then tossing in some course history, some POA grass putting, bent and POA grass putting, and then just tee to green in general. You got to be able to get up and down from around the greens here also. So that is my key stats that I am looking at. Let's jump right into some of my favorite plays. Corey Connors does really jump off in my modeling as a top play this week. He's 10-3 on DraftKings, 16-1 outright to win. Couple things with Corey. He is just an absolute ball striking wizard. I find him number one in this field in my modeling when it comes to ball striking. The form is pretty good as well. He's made 6 out of his last 7 cuts. I'm really not including those playoff events in that, but the cut events leading into the playoffs, he made 6 of 7 down the stretch. He was 26th at the Tour Championship. Don't love that, but I don't know that course was the best for him. But he does have 4 straight top 30s prior to that. So there is very good form for Corey Connors. At this course specifically, he has made 2 out of 3 cuts. Includes 13th in 2019. So definitely helpful that he has played here and actually played well previously. And then just the modeling is what loves him the most. Second in ball striking, second in fairways gained, first greens in regulation, first in good drives gained, and then second in that par 4 range. I spoke of the 400 to 450 yards. But I'm thinking he's going to be kind of popular, maybe 5th or 6th highest owned of all the guys over 9K. But I don't think that's too tough of a pill to swallow. Certainly a very, very good golfer. If you're playing Corey Connors, you're probably going to need to be somewhere in the range of, I don't know, maybe 30% owned in order to double up on the field weight. So I will be playing Corey Connors and probably playing him quite a bit. The guy I see as the major chalk over 9K, that's going to be Taylor Pendrith. But I really kind of like him as well. Everything points to him continuing the very good form he had before the end of last season. He's at 9,800 on DraftKings, 30-1 outright to win. That form, he was 8th at the BMW. That was not enough points for him to make the Tour Championship, but it's because he missed a lot of events over the course of the season. He made 7 straight cuts leading into that BMW, and that includes a runner-up at the Rocket Mortgage, and he had 3 other top 15 finishes down the stretch last year. I like that a lot. He did play this course last year. He finished 36th, so he's got some course history. And then in the modeling, he is 3rd ball striking, 8th in drive distance, They're at birdie or better, and he is top 25 in that par five scoring. Also, I see both of these guys having a really good week. Again, Taylor Pendrith being one of the highest owned golfers of anyone in the field on DraftKings. Corey Connors a little bit lower owned, but certainly I think you can get both these guys maybe around 30% in your GPP pools, and you should be good. Taylor Pendrith, you might need to go closer to 50%, I guess, if you're trying to double up on the field. So let's talk about some guys that may be a little bit cheaper, help you round out your lineups. Some values. Mark Hubbard jumps off the charts for me. 7,300 on DraftKings, 100 to 1 outright to win. The form is good. He was third at the Barbasol back in July. 13th at the John Deere as well. He didn't play all the events at the end of the year just based on points. Finished the season making 5 out of his last 7 cuts, even though he missed the cut on his last 2 out of the last 3 events. His course history, though, here, he's played this course 7 times, made the cut 5 times, 16th last year and 13th back in 2019. I like all that. In the modeling, too, 25th ball striking, 9th long-term putting on the bent POA greens. I like that a ton. I don't typically pick guys who are great putters, but Mark Hubbard kind of fits the bill as somebody who has the rest of the game to go along with his good putting. 27th on par 5 scoring and 31st greens in regulation. So I think there's a lot to like there. A couple other value plays that I don't have on the chart here on the slide, but that I do certainly like. That's Ches Reavie. He's going to be very popular. The course history is excellent. He's played very well here quite a few times, and his game just kind of fits this course. It's short. He hits a lot of fairways. He's decent on approach, and he could putt. I like Ches Reavie, although again he's going to be very popular. Patrick Rogers maybe a little less popular. He is not as doesn't have the same course history I think that Ches Reavie does, but somebody that I certainly will put into my player pool. And then down the slide here, these are some low-owned pivots that I'm looking at, trying to find some golfers that are not going to be as highly owned as some of the golfers relative to them in the pricing. Chris Kirk kind of pops off the charts when it comes to that. He's really good in the model, but he's also, and that's from the ball striking, very good fairway finder, and he's really good around the greens also. But I'm looking at him, and right next to him in the pricing is Trey Mullinax. Trey Mullinax is coming in at like double the ownership. Why would you want to do that? I'm much more interested in playing Chris Kirk versus Trey Mullinax. Who's the better golfer here? Who's played at a higher level for longer? That'd be Chris Kirk. Give me half the ownership versus Trey Mullinax. Another guy, Adam Wong, 7,500 on DraftKings. I'm thinking he'll come in maybe around 6% ownership or so. He's a good ball striker, very good putter, and also a fairway finder. He's about half the ownership of the guys right around him, Ches Reavie, and more as well. And the last golfer that kind of popped out as a good pivot to me, that is Marty Laird, 7,200 on DraftKings. He's looking at maybe 3%, 4% ownership on DraftKings. Very good ball striker. He hits fairways and makes a lot of greens in regulation. I think the course history is very, very good here for Martin Laird. And I'm looking at ownership. Right next to him is Chris Gotterup, everybody's DFS favorite. Chris Gotterup is going to be about 3 times as owned as Party Marty. Give me Party Marty instead. I would much rather pay for a guy that's been on tour much longer, a lot more experience, some course history, and at a third of the ownership, it's kind of a no-brainer for me. I would much rather play Party Marty Laird. So that is it for this week's show. I appreciate you tuning in. A little bit different format, a little bit shorter. I hope everyone enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them here on YouTube. I'd be happy to answer anything that you have. We get more in-depth in our Discord channel. That can be found via our Twitter handle at FSI_DFS. The Discord's the best way to get at me on any questions for ownership. If you like guys, don't like guys, things of that nature. So definitely check us out there. I'm also on Twitter at JohnCole19. Hope to see you again for the rest of the swing season. Thanks for watching.